the next pandemic, and you have to do the.
I'm happy to have a detailed discussion with you. You're so wrong on your facts.
You're interrupting me, and sir, you're a charlatan. That's what you are.
We're ready. We're prepared. Do not give in to fear. We are fearless. This is not the time to be afraid. This is a time to stand up and fight back and to resist any temptation for them to divide us. We're in this together. The rule of law is on our side. We will not give in, not give up. We will not capitulate. We will not bow. We will not bend. We will survive.
How art thou? How is everyone? Whoever's birthday? I know today's Beyonce's birthday. Happy birthday, everybody. Just listen. We got to celebrate these moments and these times we are in, because I don't know how much longer we got after watching. I actually watched the Senate hearing today, the Senate, what was it? The Finance Committee hearing with Robert Kennedy Jr. It was an SHIT show. It was embarrassing, not for him, because the dead worm ghost that's in his brain has deluded him into believing that he's saying right things, and he looks like an idiot. But that man is the Secretary of Health and Human Services. He is presiding over all health for the United States of America. And I also think he's an avatar for the level of incompetence that we have leading every single department in this country. It is stunning how stupid this man is. And I'm sitting there like, I could be Secretary of Health and Human Services, except I have enough good sense to know I didn't do well in the sciences. I didn't. I mean, I didn't fail, but I didn't do well enough to sit there and have this man knows nothing. And he's in charge. He's in charge. And here's the other sad thing, but we're going to talk about it today. And I have a bunch of clips that I'm going to play. There ain't a damn thing we can do about it, because this mother freaker is already confirmed. So this is just all performative. This is all senators getting their stuff off for donors or whatever. And including the one that voted to confirm him, sitting up there, Dr. Bill Cassidy. You had a chance to say no. You had a chance to say no, but you didn't stand up for the people. You stood up for your pockets. Enough of this. But I'm having this conversation because some of you out there also listening to the dead worm ghost of RFK's head with this vaccine nonsense. We have been vaccinated since I can remember. We eradicated polio and the measles and smallpox and all of the other things that children had to suffer from, with the iron lungs and the short legs and everything, and death. We eradicated it, and it's back. Because people are stupid and they want to go to YouTube University and Reddit for their information and listen to people like RFK and Joe Rogan and some stupid ass people on YouTube. And here's the thing as it relates to COVID, and I'm glad the COVID thing, because I lived through COVID. And I'm saying that facetiously because so did you. I got vaccinated. Guess what? Billions of people across the world got vaccinated. And most of us are not walking around, with a problem from the vaccine that was, new. And let me say, I was late because I was keeping my ass in the house. I was like, all right, I could avoid people forever. I'm built for this, being in the house. I got enough food, water, and all the other things and entertainment. I'm good. And then I was talking, I remember having this conversation yesterday, and on these airways, we were on Zoom, everybody, we had figured out, I was like, this is beautiful. I could do everything from here. And I would have doctors on every single week. I had every kind of doctor, including naturopaths, including holistic health professionals like Dr. Sunyata Amen. And we were having all kinds of conversations. Now, I remember having Christy Purnell on a lot, who was in the Moderna trial, Dr. Christy Purnell, and a couple of others, and having these off-mic conversations, on-mic conversations, talking with Dr. Hervé and Dr. Nana Yao, even at Healthy Wealthy Wives. We had a whole panel talking about COVID, and nobody got COVID and it was in the midst of COVID. I had a retreat in Pennsylvania in the midst of COVID. We all wore masks, and nobody left there sick. Nobody came there sick. Nobody got sick. And I was proud of that. And I remember having a conversation with Christy Purnell because I didn't want to take the vaccine. I didn't want to, not for any other reason but side effects. I don't know. I don't know what could happen. I don't take an aspirin. Y'all need to know this, for headaches. Fortunately, I don't get many of them. But when I do, I'm like, something's wrong. Maybe I'm dehydrated. Like, I'm going through my symptoms list. Okay, maybe I need more water. What happened today? Too much computer. I'm going to get to the root of it. I'm not going to take an aspirin to numb and dull the pain when there's a problem that I need to address. So I don't take aspirin for a headache. So I definitely didn't want to take not one, not two, not three, not four. I went through the whole thing. And I landed on the Moderna one because that's the trial that Christy Purnell was in. Her dad had died from COVID. We gone through it. What's her name? Kizmeckia McCormick, I think her name is, the doctor that was instrumental in this, that they had been studying for years. So it wasn't new. It wasn't a new vaccine. But the truth is, all over the globe, people were vaccinated. So the fact that this man could say out his mouth that more people died from the vaccine than from COVID was stunning to me. And again, some of y'all are anti-vaxxing. You've been anti-vaxxed or on this anti-vax train, even though you were vaccinated to go to school, even though you got that little weird scar on your arm from, I don't even know which vaccine because I didn't scar. So I forget which one gives you that weird scar, the little circular weird scar. It looks like a butthole on your arm. Some of y'all walking around with that because you got vaccinated. Some of you couldn't go to college without getting vaccinated. And now all of a sudden, we don't want to have vaccines, and the whole state of Florida is now an option. With the world so stupid, we're more illiterate than we've ever been. People don't read. They don't know anything, but my feelings. I feel like I shouldn't get this. Oh, I saw a YouTube thing, and this is what we doing? And this man is in charge of all of the health thing. He takes dips in bacteria-laden water. He walks on airplanes with no shoes. Like, this is what we're doing. So I want to shout out the senators, because for no other reason, the exposure of the idiocy was so clear. The exposure to sit and watch senator after senator undress this man, spank his ass, and send him on his way. It was beautiful. At the same time, I sat there and I said, this is not going to end well at all for any of us. It's terrible. So let's start with Bill Kennedy, Republican from Ohio, who could have voted against, Bill Cassidy, Dr. Bill Cassidy, Republican from Ohio, who could have voted against RFK, but didn't. You could have stopped this. So here's what he had to say today.
Mr. Secretary, do you agree with me that the president deserves a Nobel Prize for Operation Warp Speed?
Absolutely, Senator.
So let me ask you, but you just told Senator Bennett that the COVID vaccine killed more people than COVID.
Wait,
That was a
I
statement.
did not say that.
Okay, then let me ask, because you also.
Senator, I just want to make clear, I did not say
Well,
that.
we'll check the record. That's a question of fact.
Just say it.
You also said that you were also, as lead attorney for the Children's Health Defense, you engaged in multiple lawsuits attempting to restrict access to the COVID vaccine. Again, it surprises me that you think so highly of Operation Warp Speed when, as an attorney, you attempted to restrict access.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm happy to explain why.
I had 3 minutes and 30 seconds left.
I want to comment on his physical appearance, which does not look healthy. I don't want to comment on this congenital issue that he has, that his sister also has with his voice. I'm not going to comment on his voice and why he sounds the way he sounds. I'm going to comment on the sheer ignorance. Willful? I don't know. Is he doing this on purpose? I'm baffled. But again, Senator Cassidy, you could have stopped this. You're a doctor. You could have sounded the alarm. You noticed that something is wrong here. This man should not be in charge of anything, let alone the entire nation's health concerns. He should not be in charge. And he did make that claim. And he's been out. And what's ironic, your president got vaccinated. Your president got vaccinated. You know what's ironic? RFK, your children have been vaccinated. You've admitted that. Like, so what What's the disconnect for the people out there who are still like, the people telling you not to get vaccinated are vaccinated and their children are vaccinated? What are we talking about? 866-801-8255. We're talking about the erosion of good common sense. Shout out to a Democrat I didn't know from Washington, Maria Cantwell. Cantwell undressed RFK Jr. She did that very well today. She called him a charlatan to his face. I love it. Again, it's performative. There's not going to be any good outcome from this. He's not stepping down. I would be shocked if who's stepping down? Why should he? Who can make him? The president? Oh my God. All right, play Maria Cantwell, please.
You're not following science, and that's what Senator Cassidy's question was. It's a simple yes or no answer. Do you think the president deserves to get a prize for warp speed in the mRNA technology that saved so many lives? And you won't answer that question.
I answered it.
No, you're saying that there are problems with what was interpreted. You could say yes. Do you say
I
yes?
said the
Yeah. You
president
say
deserves a Nobel Prize, but our mRNA vaccines that we're working on, the ones that we canceled, which are for upper respiratory infections alone,
you
are those.
canceled $500 million of research because the mRNA technology is about continuing the research to be ready for the next flu, influenza, the next pandemic, and you have to do the research.
I'm happy to have a detailed discussion with you about it. You're so wrong on your facts.
You're interrupting me, and sir, you're a charlatan. That's what you are. You're the ones who conflate chronic disease with the need for vaccines. The history on vaccines is very clear. This is the 20th century. That's how many people had vaccines and had illnesses. This is the 21st century. This is the decrease, 99% down to 100%. This is what was delivered with vaccines. And you don't want to support that. You don't want to support that evidence. So yes, the governors of the West, Washington, Oregon, and California will take up the efficacy of science. Yes, the University of Washington will deliver the science that America will depend on because you don't want to depend on it.
Yeah. The COVID vaccine, during those early first couple of years before there was a vaccine, because we were suffering and distancing and washing our groceries and doing a whole host of things before there was actually a way to keep people from being hospitalized, because that was really the thing. If once you were hospitalized with COVID, then it was intubation and then death was imminent. 18.5 million hospitalizations were prevented. These are facts. 18.5 million hospitalizations were prevented because of the vaccine. Didn't cure COVID, didn't stop COVID. It stopped the raging way in which it was ravaging, going through people's bodies and killing them. It stopped the most extreme way in which that virus presented in the body. It was never a cure. It was never going to be a cure. It also prevented 3.2 million deaths. Now, I'm sure everybody listening to my voice, you know somebody who died from COVID. I know several people who died from COVID. People are still dying from COVID. We're just not talking about it. People are still getting COVID and having very bad reactions to it. There are people walking around with long COVID. I've always said I never want to get COVID. I don't know what that's going to do to me. I feel more comfortable saying I don't want chickenpox, measles, mumps, or COVID. I rather deal with the side effects from a vaccine to not get those things. As somebody who just went to get the shingles vaccine, I'm mad about that. I'm mad that I got the chickenpox as an adult. Mad. Spent my whole life avoiding that. And a family member came into my house and as a Trojan horse and dropped the disease in my house. But that said, here we are. And good common sense. Again, I'm not a medical scientist. I'm not a doctor. I'm going to trust my doctors. And yes, the pharmaceutical companies are definitely not to be trusted. I don't trust them either. Everybody's in it for some money, which Bernie Sanders pointed out.
We're ready. We're prepared. Do not give in to fear. We are fearless. This is not the time to be afraid. This is a time to stand up and fight back and to resist any temptation for them to divide us. We're in this together. The rule of law is on our side. We will not give in, not give up. We will not capitulate. We will not bow. We will not bend. We